now, too. First Alert meteorologist Sam Roberts tracking all of it. And really, Sam, we need to pay attention to the weather overnight.
Yeah, I would encourage everybody to have a way to get your warnings while you're sleeping. So a noticeable way or an audible way, something that's going to wake you up tonight. Maybe you have your phone on vibrate, just enough to wake you up if anything happens. Got to get those warnings. Big complex of storms in the area between midnight and 5 o'clock in the morning. The main concern with this, damaging winds, but some storms may also produce heavy rain. There is a hail threat and there is a slightly increasing tornado threat. So again, I really want you to have a way to get your warnings. 19 First Alert weather app or your NOAA weather radio, always great options. 19 News, just search for that in your app store and you'll find it. Right now, it's beautiful outside. How about that huge shower that like crawled across Lorain and Cuyahoga counties? That's long gone. That was at like 9:30-ish, 10 o'clock this morning. That was a big one. Now we've warmed up and the sun is out and it's like a beautiful summer day. I think the weather for the next several hours actually very nice. Now I can't rule out, just with the humidity and the system nearby, an isolated shower or storm between now and midnight, but most of our rain is midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning. Look how warm we are too tonight. Speaking of warm, hottest day of the year so far, potentially tomorrow. That part of my First Alert forecast coming up in just a bit. All right. Our dog walking forecast for tomorrow, it's a good one, but maybe a little bit hot out there mid to late afternoon with these 80s. Hey, we would love to meet your pet. Scan that QR code and your pet could be featured on the dog walking forecast with Doppler. Today we have Da Vinci, so cute. Look at that little flat face. We love a Frenchie. We'll take a closer look at your forecast for tonight coming up.
19 First Alert traffic update.
Well, we are clear of crashes and breakdowns for now. We just have some construction, but I want to bring you to Northeast Ohio's usual traffic trouble spots so you can see how they're faring. We have light taps of the brakes on 90 westbound just before and after Dead Man's Curve, which you're used to. Heavier volume is on the westbound lanes there, but delays are just a couple of minutes. 90 and 57, I am seeing some sporadic slowdowns for drivers on the west side who are continuing west on 90 in that area. But like I said, there's no crashes or breakdowns. And speaking of construction, if you plan to head towards 77 on 76 east or west, you are going to be seeing some heavier volume around the intersection like these cars are here for heading westbound on 76 over by South Arlington Street. And we have the usual rush hour traffic filling up the freeway in the Akron area. So you'll start to see the heavier volume where Rowdy passes Perkins Street, and that'll just continue to get a little slower past East Market Street and Exchange. If you plan ahead on that few mile stretch of Route 8 southbound in Akron, your drive is going to be between 5 and 10 minutes longer than usual.
Your 19 First Alert forecast, sponsored by Northeast Factory Direct. Great furniture, amazing prices.
A live look outside over downtown. What a gorgeous day. A far cry from like 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning when it was absolutely pouring outside. Not everybody saw rain, but where we did see it, some areas picked up like an inch of rain, right? Good for any plans that you might have put out last weekend. Now we've got more rain on the way and storms. And because of that, we've issued a 19 First Alert weather day overnight about midnight to 5 a.m. So it's a 5-hour window of storms. It's not going to storm at any given location for 5 consecutive hours, but the line of storms will be moving in from the west at that time. So next several hours, really nice. Look at this. This is gorgeous after that big thunder shower that moved through this morning. I can't rule out an isolated shower or two, but again, most of this starts around midnight and continues through about 5 o'clock in the morning. And some of these storms coming in from the west may be strong to severe. A main concern, damaging wind, but some storms may also produce really heavy rain. There is a hail threat and a tornado cannot be ruled out as this complex of storms move through. So really, please have a way to get your warnings overnight. I know most of us are sleeping midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, and so that is the most dangerous type of severe weather, nocturnal or overnight severe weather, because we're just not really paying attention. We're sleeping. So everything is out of here before sunrise, and then another wave of storms on the way overnight tomorrow into early Saturday morning. So it's really like kind of a more summer-like pattern. And speaking of summer, tomorrow during the day, we are going straight to July. 84, our forecast high. A lot of sunshine out there, and I don't think it'll be like oppressively humid, but it is going to be pretty muggy out there, especially for May, right? We're not used to humidity here, or a lot of it anyway, in the month of May. If you don't like the hot, humid weather, I get it. It's going to be a lot more refreshing this weekend, and the cooler weather sticks around for quite some time. Take a look at our weekend. 72 on Saturday, mostly cloudy. Could see a few showers to kick off the weekend. I do not think Saturday will be a rain out. Sunday, mostly cloudy and a lot cooler, a high of 64, so we're almost 10 degrees below average on Sunday. And yes, I mentioned this, we stay cool. Monday, 60. So we're going to spend most of our day in the 50s, 65 Tuesday and Wednesday. So a little bit warmer, but still below average. And then Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to tack on some rain chances with the cooler weather. Look at Thursday, 57, 59 on Friday. Honestly, I'm really not seeing any 70s until potentially Memorial Day, or maybe even just after Memorial Day. Isn't that crazy? Good news, overnight lows not around freezing. So with the cooler weather, you might think, oh no, we might see some frost. Nope, I think we're good to go there. Back to you. Live look outside today from our Oberlin camera. It's a beautiful day. Everything looks so green, right? Because we've had way too much rain, and we've got more on the way tonight and some storms. I'll break down the precision timing on this first alert weather day next.
With a first alert for severe weather.
Your first alert to possible severe weather tonight into tomorrow morning. Today is a 19 first alert weather day. Same for Friday night. Cleveland's most accurate weather team is tracking it all. 19 first alert meteorologist Sam Roberts back now with more on the timing. It's really nice. Feels a lot like summer out there right now.
Doesn't it? It's like a little bit humid. It felt really refreshing this morning, and now it's nice. You would never know that like these big storms are going to come through this evening, but this is your first alert for overnight storms tonight. So while you're sleeping, some of these may be strong to severe. Wind and heavy rain would be the issue with most of these storms, but some of them may produce some hail, frequent lightning, and we cannot rule out a tornado or maybe more than one this evening. So please have a way to get your warnings that's going to wake you up. So while you're sleeping, you need to be alerted if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, or hopefully there's not any tornado warnings. But if we do have any, of course, you want to be made aware. So just search 19 News in your app store if you don't have our first alert weather app. The timing on this is about 12 o'clock, so midnight through about 5 o'clock in the morning. That would be the main window for thunderstorms. But then we've issued another first alert weather day overnight tomorrow night into very early Saturday morning. So similar timing there. We could see some storms, although the highest risk on Friday overnight is going to be in our southern tier of counties, so right around the Route 30 corridor. Quick check of our first alert weather calendar. The week before Memorial Day, I don't like to see fall-like on there, right? Well, I made this, so I don't like to put fall-like on there, but we're getting cool next week. In the short term, though, enjoy this little summer preview. We're warm tomorrow, low 80s. Cleveland Nation Festival this weekend, always a great event, so fun, the best food. This is going to be a great time, but if you're going, we could see a few isolated showers on Saturday. Most of the day is just going to be cloudy and cool. We're going to be in the 70s, so a lot more refreshing than it'll be out there tomorrow. Sunday marathon forecast. We're going to start in the 50s. We still have the race forecast dry. Of course, we will let you know if we have to make adjustments. We're talking about next week's fall preview coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, now
Your 19 first alert traffic update.
If you drive around the Florence area, this first alert traffic is for you. There's a crash that's on 80 westbound just after Beaumont Road, and this is causing a stretch of 3 miles with drivers only moving along at 10 miles per hour. So if you're about to be heading this way, your drive is going to be at least an extra 10 minutes longer than usual because throughout that Florence area, there's not going to be another exit that you could get off at that's going to keep you from being stuck in that bumper to bumper traffic. So while I don't have a camera in this area that I can show you those slowdowns, I'm going to be keeping my eye on the conditions and let you know of the slowdowns and how that'll be impacting your commute in my first alert traffic updates. But what I can tell you for certain is that it is a slow go around Cleveland for drivers who are heading west on 90. Just 12-mile-per-hour speeds there, with drivers pretty heavy on the brakes just around Burke Lakefront, approaching Dead Man's Curve, past Dead Man's Curve, and around past Chester Avenue.
Your 19 First Alert traffic update.
First alerting Florence drivers again to this crash on 80 West just after Baumart Road. That stretch of slowdowns is still at least 3 miles, but speeds are getting even slower. Just 9 miles per hour is the at best speed that I'm seeing throughout that 3-mile stretch, which means now drivers are going to be experiencing closer to 15-minute delays throughout this area. So if you have a loved one who typically heads this way, they will be a little bit late getting home. We're also seeing some rubbernecking due to curiosity delays there on Route 80 eastbound, but delays are just a couple extra minutes there. But we're clear of crashes and breakdowns throughout the rest of Northeast Ohio. So taking a look at Akron with these construction and rush hour slowdowns, you'll be tapping the brakes just after where 76 passes Wolf Ledges Parkway towards 77, and especially a little heavier on the brakes on Route 8 southbound, especially by East Market Street.
Your 19 First Alert forecast, sponsored by Northeast Factory Direct. Great furniture, amazing prices.
Well, good afternoon to you. Of course, it's a First Alert weather day as we've got storms on the way. You would never know because it's so beautiful outside now. But between midnight and about 6 o'clock in the morning, we are going to be dealing with some storms, and some of those may be severe. And as we take a look at our 7-day, we've got that other severe risk tomorrow, another First Alert weather day for evening storms. The day is going to be beautiful. You know, we had today, at least across Lorain and Cuyahoga counties, this huge shower that lasted for, it seemed forever this morning. Really heavy soaking rain. Tomorrow, I'm not seeing any of that during the day. I think we're completely dry, a lot of sun, and we'll get up to about 84. So if we hit it, warmest day of the year so far. It's going to be so nice out there if you just really want some more summer-like weather. Now, if you have to do anything strenuous outside tomorrow, a little hot. And then tomorrow evening, more storms on the way, hence that 19 First Alert weather day. Now, I will say the greatest risk tomorrow evening is really along the Route 30 corridor. Not everybody is going to see severe weather, but we need to watch this closely because some of these storms could produce damaging winds, hail, heavy rain, and frequent lightning. So tomorrow evening, another way to have those severe weather alerts that are going to wake you up. Have a way to get your warnings. Always recommend that 19 First Alert weather app. Now, behind Friday's system, it's going to get cooler for the weekend, especially Sunday. That's the coolest day with these 60s. Saturday, 72. So a little bit more pleasant, but it's going to be really windy out there. We'll have a lot of cloud cover. So this is a cool 72. We've also got a chance for a shower, rumble of thunder. It's not going to be a rain out or anything like that. Sunday, no rain in our forecast right now, but the cool, breezy weather, kind of the big story, especially with a lack of sun. It's not going to be sunny out there. So also a cool 64 on Sunday. Monday also very cool for May. Once it cools down this weekend, it stays cool for several days, not like 3 or 4, but more than that. Take a look at our 7 to 10 day forecast. It even gets colder by Thursday. I say cold because, you know, 57 in the middle to end part of May. That is really cool. Yeah, there's outrage in the studio right now with these numbers. Friday, 59 a week from tomorrow. And I think we are staying below average until at least Memorial Day or potentially the day after Memorial Day. Not seeing any frost, though, so good news there. We're going to talk a little bit more about tonight's severe weather threat coming up at 4.